Patrick was a boy who loved Nintendo, hockey, and basketball. But he had one major problem. He hated homework. He found it boring. His teachers warned him that he was becoming an ignoramus, which is a person who lacks education. But Patrick just wanted a shortcut. Everything changed when Patrick saw his cat playing with what looked like a little doll. He grabbed it and realized it was actually a tiny man, an elf. In stories, elves are supernatural creatures with magical powers. Terrified of the cat, the elf shouted, "Save me! I will grant you a wish if you don't give me back." Patrick thought he had found a cheat code for school. He agreed to save the elf on one condition: the elf had to do all his homework for the next 35 days. The elf wasn't happy, his face wrinkled like a dirty dishcloth, but he had made a promise. However, there was a major catch. The elf knew nothing about school subjects, which is someone who constantly complains and asks for help. He would scream for Patrick to find a dictionary or solve math problems. He didn't know what times tables or fractions were. He forced Patrick to sit beside him every single night to guide him. Because the elf was so helpless, Patrick had to do all the heavy lifting. He stayed up until 2 o'clock every morning, researching and explaining every lesson. His eyes became puffed and blurry from exhaustion, but he kept going just to keep the elf working. Finally, the 35 days were over. On the last day of school, the elf quietly and slyly, meaning secretively, slipped out the back door. When the results were announced, everyone was shocked. Patrick had received straight A's. His teachers praised him, and his parents were amazed. Patrick had become a model student who cleaned his room, did his chores, and had a cheerful attitude. He had developed a whole new person inside himself. Patrick still believed the elf had done the work, but here is the truth: the elf didn't know the answers, Patrick did. By explaining every word and solving every problem for the elf, Patrick had actually taught himself the entire curriculum. He thought he was using magic, but he was actually using hard work. The lesson is simple: self-help is the best help. You don't need a magical shortcut when you have the power of your own brain.